Hello, everyone, and welcome down to the old Atlanta Speedway for the Winstel 2005 Cup Series 165, right here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Output Racing League. That's right, we got another league that's supporting us here tonight, putting the sponsorship up. The Winstel Cup Series is actually a fun series that I'm a part of and participate in. You see the cars starting to roll off the line here. Currently have 29 people signed up for a racing action here tonight. Got 3 who have not set lap times yet. And our top 26 who have set lap times are separated by less than half a second. These cars are a bit wild around here, a bit loose. Be a bit fun for these guys to drive. And they're all parked at the end of pit lane. Looks like we're going to be getting let off by James Watson there in the 39. Some people still coming out of the pits now. And they're off and racing for the pit party. Now 30 people signed up for the race. Oh, and our front row has caused all the chaos. We've got a huge one here at Atlanta. Someone's on their roof. Everyone's hitting everyone. I think it's literally only one surviving car that didn't get any contact. That one literally took out the entire field. So I'm guessing everyone's just going to go back to the pits and they're going to try it again. We have one car on track. Not sure who that is at the moment. I think it's one of the cars that's just trying to set a lap. No, it's Josh Banks. And it looks like we're starting to roll. So let's try this again, attempt number 2 at getting this pit party going. Come out of turn 4. But Corey Cook's on the pole for this one, the Cookie Monster himself. Let's see what's going to happen when they get onto the back straight. Because that's normally where all the shenanigans unfold. And they survived. Scott Rickard has put it 3 wide though. That's with Travis Massier, and it was also with the 21 of Thad Baylor, but now it's with Freddie Caramines. Oh, there goes Thad. Just got pounded to the inside wall. Atlanta is a nice wide track with multiple racing lines, but it's also loose as hell and can cause absolute chaos for these cars. And I think this is definitely going to be one of those chaos days. Fred goes for a slide through the infield there. It's good to see the majority of the pack has actually survived so far. It took them a little bit to get going, but once they did get going, they got there. And with just 2.5 minutes left here in practice, if they need all the green flag running they can get. As around goes Jack Sanders. Someone else that had a spin there too. Oh, Jack straight back across traffic. And I see Frank is one who has spun. Jonathan Hernandez, another one. And then he got punched in the face by the face of Mark Pentacuff. One of those I'm gonna punch your face in the face kind of moments. But with just about a minute left on the clock here for practice, I think we are going to go to a commercial break. And when we come back, we should have the results of qualifying and find out what the order is going to be here for the Winstel Racing League 2005 Cup Series. Right here on the Output, right here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Output Racing League. So many different league names. Anyway, stay tuned. Racing action will be coming up very shortly. Welcome back to the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Winstel 2005 Cup Series here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Airport Racing League. As you can see, time just ticked over, so it is time for us to start going through our starting grid for tonight's race. On the pole, we're going to have the 05 of Scott Rickard on his outside, the 40 of Austin Dan. Out of P3, we're going to have the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez, and P4, surprisingly, the Frank Isaacson 24 car. Joshua Banks will be out of P5 in the 35 car, with Brian Chambliss in the 67 out of P6. P7 will see the 2 of Reggie Ortega, and P8, the 68 of Andrew Griesbaum. P9 will be the 12 of Chris Champo, and on his outside will be the 74 of Austin Collins. P11 will be the 22 of Rob Chowdhury, with James Watson in the 39 out of 12th. We're going to have the 61 of Corey Cook out of Lucky P13, with the Lucky 13 of Travis Massia out of 14th. P15 will be the 9 of Slammin' Joe Salama, with Frederick Cremines in the 14 out of P16. P17 will be the 11 of Chris Rise, with Sam Niederhelm making a return in P18. P19 will see Jaron Sanchez, league owner and operator, and P20 Clayton Ward. Mark Pentacup will be out of 21st in the 5 car, with Jack Sanders in the 25 out of 22nd. 23rd position will be Thomas Harmon. The 38, Ken Campbell. My apologies. In the 15 out of 24, Logan McCannally will be out of 25th, with Matt Horton out of 26. We've got Matt Sisler out of 27th, Kyle Kraus in the 28th position. 29th will be the 21 of Thad Failer, with Brian Pizzicami out of 30th. And Jonas Marquez props the field in 31st position in the double O car. So that is your 31 starters and drivers for tonight's racing action. Strength of field, 32.71. We got 110 laps in the books, 165 miles of racing. Remember, this is old school Hotlanta, so it does have a restart zone, but it doesn't have the thing where you got to pit on the back straight. You know, where you got to enter the apron on the back straight to go to the pits, which I personally think is probably the dumbest thing I've seen from iRacing. Anyway, the pace car is going to make that hard left turn into pit lane. The first start is on green. All the restarts will be on the leader inside of the restart zone. And we are off and racing for the second race of Season 1 2025. And Scott Rickard already taking a bit of a lead here. Jonathan Hernandez started experimenting with alternate dimensions already, but he's going to try and squeeze his way up into P2 just in front of Austin Dan. And it looks like he is not going to pull that off, as Austin getting the draft down the back straight, keeping him up there with Scott Rickard. And it looks like we have survived the first lap tentatively. The battle is still on for the lead here, as Austin Dan trying to lead the race from the front. And he will sweep around the outside of Scott Rickard there and take the lead away. Look at the rest of the field down the back. I don't think this battle at the front is sorted yet. Let's just see how unsettled these cars are. They're moving all around. Just about everywhere on the track. Here comes the 35 of Joshua Banks. trying to make a move. But it looks like Reggie Ortega in a 2-car getting around his outside. And we now have 4 laps in the books. No, it's 3 laps. 3 laps we've gone without caution. My apologies. But it's still all Austin Dan leading the way over Scott Rickard. Jonathan Hernandez doing real well, sitting there in 3rd. Reggie Ortega 4th. And Joshua Banks in 5th. Frank Isaacson, just quick spotlight, he is still in P6. So Frank doing a phenomenal job in these cars. You don't normally see him up towards the pointy end. Maybe this is the season we can get him a win on a Tuesday. Actually, quite a bit of separation here behind Frank. As if people get loose and it checks up to the field in certain places. And I think that's what's happened, because these guys at the back here are a little bit packed up. While the front 5 or 6 have gotten away. Oh, loose. That was the 5 of Mark Pentecoff. He managed to save it, but he's probably going to drop to the back of the field here. They go into turns in 1 and 2 once more. The field still isn't completely sorted yet, and I'm not sure how many know what's going to happen when they get onto a long run here. Because I don't think they got very much practice in a long run setting. I heard someone scraping up against the fence there. But they shall continue on. All 31 cars still in circulation. Mark Pentecoff, the last car in the list. Let's go back in, check in on our leaders, see what's going on here. And looks like Reggie Ortega looking to make the move to the inside of Jonathan Hernandez. So too is Joshua Banks. Scott Rickard was looking to the outside of Austin Dan. Couldn't quite get that run going. Now he swaps to the inside. What can he do down there? Nothing. Nothing at all. Yeah, things definitely seem to have just sorted themselves out here, and for the most part, it's calm racing. In the pack here, we've still got 2x2 going on, as that's the 19 of Logan McAnally fighting for his life with Chowdhury and Sisler. Still a very epic battle here between Sisler and McAnally. Neither of them want to give it up. But Sisler using that outside line to his advantage. McAnally actually got a little bit loose there. Almost came a cropper, but he's just lost out on a couple of spots instead. Mark Pentacuff. Oh no, he's out. Let's see what happened to Mark here. Did he actually have an incident, or did he just pull out? Oh, he's loose. He's loose. Oh, and he caught the fence. Oh no, poor Mark. Mark got bullied by the car. That is why Mark is OUT out of this race. And that is Thad Failor all the way down to the inside of the track. He had a loose moment as well. Tyres really look like they're starting to just fall off of these cars. Just about. Oh, there's another big loose. I think that was Chowdhury. Oh, that was Greasebum. Greasebum with the loose moment. One thing's for sure, the racing action here today has definitely been on a nice edge. As McAnally catches up to the 13 of Travis Massio. And I think that was Sisler with him, but Sisler just kind of blinked out a little bit. That would have been scary for a few people. Oh, Kyle Krass is in the pits. What's happened to Kyle here? Oh, he was backwards coming across the line. He's fighting there with the 9 of Joe Slama. Just gets loose coming off the corner. Smashes into the fence. Very lucky he didn't hit Joe in the process. And it looks like that is going to be the end of the race for the driver of the 7 car. Actually surprised we haven't had a big wreck yet. Just with how all over the place everyone seems to be at the moment. Up the inside goes Greasebaum on Massia. I think Massia pulled out of that just to facilitate the move. And Ward was another one who was making moves there. And it looks like Isaacson has started to fall down the order as well. He's fallen down to 17th now as the handle's coming off that car. You see a sneak peek of the 38 Thomas Harmon. He's moved into 20th. That made that 18th now. Just gained 5 from where he started. And slow progress here for Harmon. Oh, there's one loose on the apron. And that's Jonas Marquez again. As we just about go 4 wide here in 3 and 4. There's a 78 Brian Pizzakemi. He's starting to make his way through the field as well. Oh, Frank, right down to the apron. And we're now 30 laps in the books. I think this is a good time for us to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will be waiting for green flag stops. So make sure you guys stay tuned. More action coming up very shortly. Welcome back to the Winstel 2005 Cup Series sponsored race here for the Atlanta 165, the Output Racing League on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel. As you can see, Reggie Ortega has taken the lead over Joshua Banks. Got Austin Dan back there in third. Jonathan Hernandez is in fourth. Scott Rickard sitting back there in fifth. Scott will not be happy chappy over being back there in fifth. But since we haven't actually had a caution yet, we are going to be looking forward to getting some green flag stops here within the next few laps. It's definitely going to make things a bit more interesting for some of these drivers. I'm actually surprised. I thought Thomas Harmon probably would have made his way through the field a little bit faster than he has been. But it's not to be the case just yet. As he's trying to make the move there on Sisler. I'm not sure whether he got it made or not. And he did not. He's still back in 15th. Ryan Pizzicami, another one I thought would have been a little bit further up the field by now. I guess we'll just have to wait and see how pit stop cycles through. Ooh, big move there for Clayton Ward. Brian Chambliss is the first one to bite the cherry. He's going into the pits. Not sure whether he has an issue or what's going on. Also, it says is in the pits. I don't remember seeing him driving into the pits, so something has happened to Thad. See what happened to Thad here. Catches the wall in turn 1. Catches the wall in the middle of 1 and 2. Oh, bounced off of Jack Sanders and into the fence. Waited for the gap and then just went down low. Damn, that's unlucky. I don't think he's got too much damage on that automobile. Oh, grease bomb. We almost saw that one in real time. Oh, that's going to be the end of his race for sure. What happened to Grease Bomb here? Oh, he just got loose coming out of 4. Overcorrected it and into the wall in the middle of the tri-oval. It looks like he was just trying to find the gap here, almost coming into contact with, I think that was Jaron Sanchez. That Baylor back on the track. Andrew Griezmann is out. Ad just sticking to the inside, letting everyone by. Oh, there's almost contact there between Ward and Pizzacchemi. Pizzacchemi just slowly chipping his way through the field. Especially Thomas Harmon. Thomas is actually almost in the top 10 now. That was almost a real good battle there. I thought they were going to go 3 wide through the corner. Looks like everyone's caught up to a lap car that's decided to go to the pits. And that is the 11 of Rise. Rise who had a pretty good run last week from memory. Has pulled it into the pit just to get out of the way of everyone, I'm assuming. Now we've got the battle on. They come down the back straight. It's had Falo actually a little bit in this pack. He's probably got fresh tyres. Who's helped him to get into this pack a bit. Was trying to get the damage fixed. You know, he's put him a few laps down, so it's not going to be really worth it. Oh, some of these guys getting a little bit loose. These guys have been on the edge of disaster almost the entire race. As into the fence there was someone towards the back. I think that might have been Sisler. We're nearing the halfway point. So green flag stops will probably be just about a guarantee here shortly. Tell you what, though, Thad on these fresher tyres has definitely been making a good run of it. Down the bottom. Just trying to get one of his laps back at the very least. So he may have inadvertently got Horton up into the fence there. Just by forcing the 3 wide. Who had been looking strong before, just kind of fallen by the wayside there back in the 17th position. Oh, and I see we have a change for lead. Chris Champeau has taken it over Reggie Ortega, starting to pull away. Ken Campbell up in the third. He's looking for second position. Watson and Marquez have come into the pits. As we are now at the halfway point, 55 down, 55 to go. Make that 54 to go. It looks like Campbell just can't quite get that run up on the inside. And Campbell's actually going to bring it into the pits now. Means and Marquez also in the pits. Hernandez and Sisler have pitted as well. So too is Sanchez. So this is it. This is where we're going to start seeing the flurry of green flag stops. Basio and Child Hurry are in the pits with Ortega. This gives Champeau now a 2-second gap to P2. And P2 is currently Austin Collins. And the champ is now in the pits. Slama also coming in the 40 of Austin Dan. Got a little bit up towards the fence there. Frank Isaacson back on track. He's looking quick with his fresh tyres. Still have 12 cars that need to pit. I think Collins has just come in. And it looks like Dan has made the choice to come in as well now. There's 10 left to go get some tyres. We're currently being led by McAnally. Campbell currently the first of the cars who has made a stop. Like he's got himself back onto the lead lap by getting around McAnally. So that slight undercut definitely working out for him as Rickard and Cook now come into the pits. Pizzakemi follows and so too does Horton. McAnally, Harmon, Banks, Ward, Sanders, they're all still out on track waiting to pit, the top 6. And McAnally, Harmon and Banks come in this time. Niederhelm keeps going. It looks like Ward and Sanders have kept going as well. Niederhelm did officially lead that lap. They're hoping someone stuffs up on the fresh tyres and brings out a caution. Looks like Ward might be coming in this time. Maybe not. Just seen his number and the ticker there moving wildly. But he's either coming in or he's having some big difficulties on track right now. As Niederhelm comes in. Sanders has also come in. We'll see if Ward comes in. He does. And this will give the lead back now to Ken Campbell. Once everyone comes past the start-finish line, we'll be able to see what the order of the race is starting to look like. It's looking like Campbell and Ortega with Champeau, Collins and Hernandez as your top 5. McAnally battling with Sisler for P6. We've got Cremines and Watson there as well. Sanchez in P10. Armand dropped a few down to 15th with Pizzakemi in 16th. Campbell has a nearly 3-second gap over Ortega right now. Looks like Rise and Slama are out. Not sure when Slama pulled the pin. Yeah, he is OUT out of here. Marquez still floating around the track though. 15 laps down, but he's still going. Every point counts. The 05 of Rickard making a move there. That was for 7th. That was to get around Sisler. But it looks like they're battling side by side. Oh, Sisler cops the fence. It's allowed Rickard right on through. Now Rickard going to try and chase down McConnelly. He's only about a second up the road from him. There is a lap car that separates McConnelly from Rickard, and that is Thad Baylor in the 21. Look at the Ford James Sanchez, league founder. And I think it's time we go for another quick break. And when we come back, we will be going to the checkered flag, so make sure you guys stay tuned. More action from the Atlanta 165 presented by the Winstel 2005 Cup Series will be coming up very shortly. Welcome back to the Atlanta Motor Speedway here for the Atlanta 165 presented by the Winstel 2005 Cup Series on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Output Racing League. And we're currently looking at James Watson, who I think is trying to catch up to Frederick Cremines here, who's had a shocking lap. Got from 9th to 11th. Big bunch of smoke here in front of Freddie Cremines. Campbell still absolutely dominating this race right now. Champo's put himself up in the P2. Campbell now with just under 2.5 seconds of a gap. So Champeau has brought it back a little bit, but not overly significantly. As Watson trying to battle with Sanchez there. There's Sisler in P8. Back to Watson. Kami's worked his way back up to 13th. He's gotten around Thomas Harmon and left him in the dust a little bit, as they both catch up to the 4 of Sanchez. There's a 14, Freddie Cremines. As these two will swap positions back, so Harmon back in front of Pizzicami. But gain one, lose one for Brian. As Chowdhury. Looks like he is out of the race. Is he just going to the pits? He's going to the pits. Another one that put on an impressive showing last week at Daytona. Reggie Ortega now locked in battle with Austin Collins. Those two battling over the second position. Sorry, the third position. Just up the road from them is Jonas Marquez, who is a lap down. Chris Champeau, the car immediately in front of them for P2. The gap's been pretty stable here at about 2.4 seconds between Champeau and Campbell. It's really not looking like Campbell's going to get stopped here. Looks like maybe Champeau just about catching the fence there coming off of turn 2. Definitely close. Just behind these guys is Clayton Ward. He's another lap down car. But he's not directly involved in this battle. Probably just waiting for them to stop being side to side so he can get past. Or way back in the background there, McAnally coming out of turn 2. Ward's backed off from these two now, as Collins still holds the advantage. And the laps are winding down. Not very many left in this one. On lap 92 of 110. We're back to the true output form of not having many cautions. Even if we were to get a bunch of cautions right now, I think we'd only get like 3 at most. These guys started to spread out, so that battle for third is no longer ongoing. We look at Sisler trying to battle it out with Frederick Cremines. Now the camera's just jumping all over the place. We're going to enjoy the sounds a little bit of these cars for the next couple of laps. Don't these things sound amazing? We just sit there and listen to them for a couple laps. Got 10 to go. This will be when the cars are at their most unsettled here. Everyone pushing for every little inch they can. On old clapped out tyres on an old clapped out track. These guys will be just getting loose everywhere. As someone has gone onto the pits. That's Austin Collins. He exited stage left and he has crashed into the pit lane by the looks of things. What's happened here to Austin? Oh no, he got loose and overcorrected. Same thing that happened to the 68 car. And he's just turned it immediately dead left. And into the pits he goes. That is very unfortunate for Austin Collins. And he just about crashed into his pit box too. So that's a little bit amazing. So now Reggie Ortega has no pressure from behind as McAnally in fourth. There's about 3 seconds behind him right now. But it is all Ken Campbell at the moment. He's definitely racing shirtless tonight, so he doesn't choke. It's just really unfortunate to see Austin dropping out so late in the race. And as I was just saying, this is where things could get really dangerous for some of these drivers with how loose these cars are around the track, old tires, and you're trying to push for every little inch you can get. Collins is going to drop to 24th, and that will probably be the extent in which he'll drop. Got 5 laps left in this race. Alright, since we now just got a couple laps left, we're just going to focus in on our leader here, the 15 of Ken Campbell. He comes around, he's got 3 laps to go. But Jonas Marquez right behind him. Jonas, of course, 15 laps down. So he's not going to fight the leader. And we have a safety car. What has brought out the caution? I think it might be the 14 of Freddie Cremines. See what's unfolded here for Freddie. Oh, gotta go back a little bit further. Battling hard there with Sisler. Oh, and Sisler's bounced off the fence. Fred has gone for a big slide up into the fence. Oh, that was so close there for that blue car. And that has what's brought out the first caution of the race, which means we are going to go into our first of 2 attempts at an overtime finish. That's why the first green-white checker attempt. Everyone is coming in for tires. Honestly, at this point, if you don't come into the pits, then you're doing something horrifically wrong. Someone is just coming to the chat here on Twitch saying that I'm pulling for whoever takes 2 or stays out. Well, no one stayed out. No, it says Ward stayed out, but I think he's getting the wave around. The lucky dog. Child Hurry, I think, is going to look at getting the wave around and hope for another caution. Campbell came into the pits in first, came out of the pits in first. He will have lane choice, and he will get to control the start inside of the restart zone. And make sure you come with us next week as we go to the Okayama International Circuit, simracerhub.com. Okayama, a great little track, has previously held Formula 1 events. And it should be fun to see what we can do around here, around there in these cars. Child Hurry gets his wave around, which means we're 1 to green. So here it comes, our first attempt at a green-white checkered finish. The 15 of Ken Campbell has chosen the inside line. We're going to have 19 cars on the lead lap when we get the green flag. And honestly, I don't blame Child Hurry for taking the wave around. Even on old clapped out tyres, if we get another incident on the white flag lap, he is absolutely laughing. Here we go. 2 laps to sort it out. And if we can't even make it 1, we'll take them back and try it again. Pace car is in. And it was a nice early jump there for Ken Campbell. He's pulled absolutely clear of Ortega and Champeau. Ortega trying to move up into second very quickly. He's got a gap behind him that the 12 can slip into. But he's not going to be able to by the looks of things. In fact, he's going for the momentum around the outside to try and take second back. There was a lot of sideways movement on the back straight from the guys at the back of the pack. Come out of 4 for the penultimate time. Going to be white flag, last lap, last chance to win it or wear it. And this could be a pretty close finish here for second. Everyone bouncing up against the wall. Oh, Scott Rickard has got it all wrong. They come out of turn 4 for the final time. The winner here of the Atlanta race is going to be the 15 of Ken Campbell. Chris Champeau second. Reggie Ortega in third. What a great run. There it is. Campbell, Champeau, Ortega, Dan, Hernandez, Harmon, McAnally, Pizzicami, Rickard, and Cook. That is your top 10. Then we're going to have Massio, Horton, Watson, Sanchez, Niederhelm, Sanders, Sisler, Ward, Chowdhury, and Banks down to 20th. Banks, the first car a lap down. Isaacson, Faylor, Cremines, Collins, Marquez. Oh. And it's going to go through the whole thing again. Excellent. iRacing had a bit of a glitch there, and it kind of stuffed with everything. So we got down to Banks. Go over the page to see 21 to 30. There's Griesbaum, Collins, Chowdhury, Watson, Slammer, Cremines, Rise, Sanchez, Ward, and Pentacuff down to 30th. And then last but not least, Carl Kraus in the 7. Although that's not the way I've got it down here. I've got Mark down to 31st. So the back of the order there, completely unofficial. Because the way I've got it in my timing and scoring monitor is completely different. But that is going to wrap things up for us here tonight. Unfortunately, no interviews. Something's come up and it requires my immediate attention. So thank you all for coming out. Thank you all for having a watch. And until next time when we go to Okayama, I've been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator. We'll see you guys in Japan.